Hey guys, it's Kate. I'm here with Usman. We are back for our first episode of season 2 of You're Where With Who. We are so excited that we're sitting down with Dom and Jesse today. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the merch too. Keeping mine on. Usman doesn't want to be fun.
What? Okay, that's not it.
Wow, right off the gap.
I know, right? Just attacking me.
Yeah.
This is just our
That's
friendship,
okay.
so I'm
Yeah.
allowed to say that to him. You don't have to wear them.
Thanks
It's
for
okay.
having us. Of course.
I'm wearing my merch. We're so happy to have you guys here.
Yeah,
Thank you
we're
for
stoked.
being here. You get to show it off to the camera.
I know. You have to. You have
We
to.
appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, you were telling us you guys are actually making these yourselves. You're stickering them yourselves and you're selling them at your shows,
Yeah.
right? These are super dope.
Thank you.
I love it. It goes very much with your theme, your summer all year theme.
Yes, thank you.
To dive into that, let's start with your story. I'm putting my sunglasses back on. So you guys are not originally from Philly, I understand.
No.
Florida and Connecticut,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
How did you guys end up here?
Who told you that? How did you know?
Your
How did you know?
Spotify profile told me that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Am I not allowed to research?
that's right.
We often
I'm
forget about.
actually a CIA agent, so
I forgot we
boy.
had a bio.
Yeah.
you do. I read it.
That's funny. Yeah, this is a good story. You wanna take this one?
Sure. I was born in Florida, and then had to move up to Connecticut with my family, and then I was raised there in like the middle of nowhere, and it just was not for me at all. And literally the second I graduated, I was like, I'm going somewhere where it's just a little more populated, and Philly was just it for me. And I've been here ever since, and now I just want to get to the West Coast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So Dom, like he said, he's born in Florida, but I'm true Floridian. I was there for 25 years.
Oh wow.
It's okay. He can throw shade because I've been in Philly like twice as long as him.
I'm a
So
real Floridian.
yeah, I'm a real
Real
Philly guy,
Floridian.
so it's okay.
So Dom's from Connecticut. I'm from Florida, and Dom moved down here for college, UArts, right?
Yeah.
And I moved up here with my wife, and yeah, she's originally from here, so that's why I came up here
Okay.
to Pennsylvania.
Very cool.
Yeah, and yeah, as far as meeting,
Yeah.
you were living in Connecticut at the time when I got here, right?
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you were back up in Connecticut, and I hit the ground running and started doing like tons of open mics here in the city.
Yeah.
Did one at World Cafe Live and met who is now one of our mentors, Sean Penn, and he introduced me to Range the Messenger, who is also a mentor of ours, and artist development coach, and who they're a part of our production team now.
Mm-hmm.
And they introduced me to Dom with the idea of a duo.
Yeah.
So the idea of a duo was originally not even ours. They were like, would you guys be open to a duo? Because we were both solo artists at the time.
Yeah.
And at first we were like, because we were both working on things individually.
And before he moved up, I had been working with that team for like 5 years previously.
Yeah.
And so like they just called me and they're like, we have a meeting for you. Come down to Philly. And like I had literally got a record label and I was working with management and producers and putting stuff together, like in the process of like putting new music together. It's like, all right, go down. I walk in the room and there he's just sitting there. We were like, who's this guy?
It's like we found a guy
Yeah.
for you. Does that work?
But-
There's this extra
Yeah,
guy.
but there's something in the air, and like we just said like fuck it, let's give it a try, and
Yeah.
now here we are 6 years later, and it's
Yeah,
great.
and that's a whole story in itself.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Did you ever ask them why they felt that you guys would be a good pairing?
The Sean, so we call him like the captain of our ship. He kind of runs everything,
Yeah.
and he is an amazing chess player. He was on Making the Band, and he's worked with a bunch of huge people, and he sees the way that like these bigger people, they don't move from like day to day. They're already thinking like 5 years down the road, and that's the way he thinks. Like he'll have an idea about something, but he'll kind of mention it and we'll forget about it, but then 3 years later he'll be like, oh hey, by the way, now is the time that we make this move of this idea that I had. And it's like, oh my God, like you really do follow through with these things. You just have a plan, big long term for it. And he said we were like the same height. He plays guitar regular, and I play guitar upside down, lefty.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And so just like that look of like the guitars going that way, and
Yeah.
like again we're kind of the same height, we were doing around the same music style,
Yeah.
and he was like, you guys would just yin and yang.
He thought of everything.
Thought of everything.
He really thought of everything.
Yeah.
And he knew I had a family, and he knew Dom was single, like doing like the bachelor thing. So he's like, you guys juxtapose each other really well. So give it a try. And then he was like, the rest is up to you. Like if this works out, like you do the work.
And now it's just a slow crumble.
And now it's all downhill. Thanks, guys. That's all we have for you
Yeah,
today.
right? Thank you.
No, that's not it. We're gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Not a slow crumble.
No.
You guys had the Summer All Year
Yeah.
EP that dropped in 2023.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about like what is the inspiration behind that?
Summer all year.
Yeah.
So summer all year, we worked on for like a while. We were trying to figure out a direction, or like what does this look like visually?
Yeah.
You know, what does Dom and Jesse look like visually, in like as a brand, I guess. You know, like for example, like Olivia Rodrigo comes to mind. She's like purpled out, right? She's doing like her purple thing.
Yeah.
Same concept. Like every artist has to. It's like, what does this look like visually? So working with Range as an artist development coach, he really like closely worked with us like every week, like hours every week. And he's like, you guys are like the boys of summer.
We would
He's like-
spend for like 2.5 years. We spent almost every single day with him on
Yeah.
artist
Wow.
development, and it was grueling. But like it brought us to where we are. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he had that idea of Summer All Year because
Yeah.
everyone always asked us like, "Oh, you guys from LA?" I don't know. It was just this
Yeah.
weird thing. Like everybody always asked that, and even my friends from Connecticut back at home, they would always. Anytime I would go back home, they'd be like, "So how's LA?" I'm like, "I didn't move to LA. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, we thought you moved to LA," and it's just this thing that just we give off like
Like a summer vibe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Every day, and that's kind of like what we naturally did. He's like that's what you need to lean into. Like you're the boys of summer.
Yep.
Summer all year. We're like summer all year, and so we really sat on that.
Yeah.
And we just rolled with it. We're like, that describes it the best. Summer all year. It's just like a good, positive, upbeat vibe
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah, we've learned that like we're just nice dudes. We just like people a lot, and we just want to be around good people. And so we've kind of taken Summer All Year and flipped it around a little bit, and now it's like, we are the sunshine everywhere we go. So like
I like
wherever you go, and whenever you're with us, there's the sunshine. You know what I mean? Like you're always gonna feel at home. You're always gonna feel happy. You're always gonna feel good. You're never gonna feel uncomfortable, and that's just really what we want to give anywhere we are.
Yeah.
Because like so many people in life, like everybody has their struggles. Everybody has their moments of sadness, and there's the financial struggle, especially now, or relationship struggles or family struggles, personal struggles. But then when you go to our shows, there's that one moment that we're able to give you, like, you just forget about all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're able to just hang out with your friends and party and have a great time. And like, that's all we care about.
Summer all year.
Summer All Year.
Summer All Year.
I know. I love that.
I do too. Yeah.
And to your point of it being like a California vibe, when I was watching some of the videos as well as the cover of the album, I was like, this does look like a California setting. And your career like development, like artist development mentor, like nailed it in my opinion. He absolutely nailed it. I love the theme of like summer year, all year, just because it accentuates like happy, in my opinion. And I think to your point of wanting people to come to your show and feel that happiness when you're playing music, I think that's what everyone like absolutely loves. So that's awesome. I actually love that.
It's very fitting for you guys.
Yeah.
You guys just have like a
you.
bright energy
Thank
and a
you.
bright vibe. And I think that I agree. I think that's
Yeah.
what people want when they go to a show. It's
Yeah.
like, let me just get away from the other stuff
Right.
going on
Yeah.
in my life, in the world, whatever's happening on the news. Like, I just want to be present and be here. And that's so dope that you guys are doing that. Can you tell us a little bit about what goes into one of your shows? Like, what does a typical Dom and Jesse show look like?
You're gonna see some palm trees, some light up palm trees.
Not California
you're
at
gonna-
all.
Right?
Why would they think that you moved to LA? That's crazy.
Yeah.
You're gonna see some glasses, probably like a lot of Dom and Jesse glasses, because
Okay.
like We just
Yeah.
sell out of them every show.
Yeah.
Like we're selling so many, and people are just wearing glasses at every show, which we love. We're continually elevating our shows now, and like we have like this little photo booth area. But you're going to sing along with us. You're gonna dance, and you're going to see two guys that love what they do, playing guitar and singing, and just having the best time they can have with you on stage.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's just a party, man.
Yeah.
That's all we care about. It's just
Yeah.
like we just want to make it a party, and there's never really a dull moment in them. Sometimes we'll play party games like Flip Cup, or we'll have like a champagne gun going around and
That's
spraying
so
people's
important
mouths.
to me.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love
like the
that.
champagne
That's
gun.
so
We-
good.
We DJ as well. You know,
Yeah.
we play and sing. On June 4th at Milk Boy, we're gonna have like a full band with all our original music and
Nice.
all that, and we're actually releasing new music too. So
Oh.
we're really excited about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So we got a whole bunch of new great stuff coming out this year, and then merch too. We're elevating our merch, so we have
Yeah,
bracelets and
we're gonna
necklaces,
be making bracelets.
Yes.
and necklaces as well. So
Oh,
we're
wow.
gonna be doing all
I love
that
it.
and selling that, and you know, it's just
So
constantly
people-
elevating.
Con-
Yeah.
It can
Yeah.
look like you can look like you're enjoying summer
Yeah.
all year round. That's the
I
goal.
love
I love
this.
that.
The little smiley faces on it. I love
Yeah.
it.
So I just had a daughter, right?
Oh,
About, like,
congratulations.
thank you, a month ago. And this is how much we love summer and leaning into it. Her name is Summer. So that's why I also have Summer. So
Yeah.
for me too, it's like summer all year has a whole other meaning.
Bigger.
Yeah.
meaning.
So yeah.
I can only imagine when she's like a little bit older and asks us, "Why is my name Summer?" And you just go down this rabbit hole of a story and just like, "Really, Dad?
Summer all
Really?"
year.
Yeah.
You should listen to the EP.
I don't
and
know.
learn.
Beyond Summer All Year, I do approve of that name. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a great name.
It
It's
is a great name.
yeah.
Like you don't meet any Summers,
You know,
and like you
What's
can't
so
really
much,
make
no?
fun of that
No.
name.
No.
There's so many names you can make fun of, but like, haha, you look like Summer. It's like, yeah, Summer's great. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know,
Seriously.
there's nothing to
true.
make fun of it about. So
You can call her Bummer. I don't know.
nah, cause
Nah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't
Nah.
work.
I wouldn't.
Nah.
I'm not saying I would,
nah.
but
sure.
Which is
you could
good.
probably make fun of any name.
You probably
Just-
could.
yeah.
But it's not going to happen.
No, it won't happen.
No,
No bullying.
Nope.
I
It's
won't
not-
allow it.
You
Yeah.
won't allow the bullying, so that's good. But
Well, so you guys been together for 6 years now. Can you go into some challenging moments you guys face during that like journey of like becoming a duo, making music together, and actually putting on events and engaging with your audience, the ups and downs that you go through within that process?
Definitely. You want to start? So, definitely, like when Sean and Range came to us with the idea of a duo, it was like, all right, now the rest is up to you. Like, you guys work together, you guys make this happen. Like, you know, if you guys don't, like, we're not forcing you to do anything. We're not your parents. We're, you know,
Yeah.
you guys work it out, and if it works, great, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So at the beginning, it definitely took a lot of humility because you're two guys, two individual artists with two separate visions for what that looks like. And these people that you trust and look up to, who are like mentors,
Mm-hmm.
are present you with an idea. And you're like, okay, I want to see it through and see how it works out. So it definitely took a lot of humility because our personalities are so different. Yeah, you know, there's similarities, but me and Dom would just naturally butt heads a lot in the beginning. And we had them to fall back on. That's like, blah, 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 like, you know, and we would bounce off like any issues we had with that. Because when we came into this duo, it's not like we were best friends.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's
yeah.
not like we were friends since high school and things are going to work out because we're friends.
Yeah.
We have different perspectives on life and things and how we do things, which you could think of it as a deficit, but it's actually great because when I have an idea, I might shoot for the moon and Dom's like, well, hold on, let's back it up,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. Or Dom might have an idea and I'm the guy that's like, okay, but what about this, you know,
Yeah.
and Dom might, you know, we have to balance each other out in that kind of thinking. So it definitely took a lot of humility and building characters, building like who we are, to even get to working 6 years together where we are now.
Yep.
Have you guys ever lived with friends?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that friendship always ends up different.
Yeah, you know how that
afterwards.
goes.
Yeah.
So for us, it's like, well, we're in a duo, so we're roommates for however long this lasts.
Yeah.
So it's
Right.
like you have to make it work. And the thing is, like, we really are completely different people. You know, like he is a dad with 2 kids and a wife. Like I've got a girlfriend now, but I'm still like I'm on I don't have any other responsibilities other than myself for the most part, right?
Yeah.
So even today, we just have vastly different views on life. And when it comes to Dom and Jesse is one brand. But you got 2 different minds working with one brand. And so those complications, you have to learn how to adapt. And if you don't learn how to adapt and how to sacrifice certain things for other things, then and if there's no give and take, like it's just not going to work out, and then it all crumbles. Because like if one day I'm like, you know what, I just don't want to do this, then like all of this crumbles, you know. Or if he says, hey, like fuck you, dude, you're a dickhead, I hate you, you know, I just want to make money for my family, I'm out, then like all of this crumbles. So like either we have to adapt or we die. And like at this point, I think for us, we're so deep in it. We're 6 years in, and we have created a sustainable income for ourselves already. We're like, this is all we do.
Yeah.
Like we don't do anything but music.
Yeah.
And granted, we're both still in like wedding bands right now, and we're transitioning out of that. And every year we're learning how to transition more out of certain things and more into the Dom and Jesse realm. But like, regardless, we're doing music full time, and we just have to stay humble and understand that like we've already won. Like, of course we want to play in front of 20,000 people.
Yeah.
But the thing is like you guys, right? Most podcasts, 99% of podcasts don't make it past the first episode.
Yeah.
You guys are on the first episode of the 2nd season.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like you guys are in the 1%, right?
go.
You're all like you've already succeeded,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter about like social media. They make it so hard because it's like, oh, you have to have the following and you have to have the buzz and you have to have all this experience. And like we've had major label meetings, and every meeting they've said like, we love the look, we love the idea, we love the vibe, we love the content. Get more followers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and like that's one thing we struggle with every day, but we at least once a week we tell ourselves, we get into this like hole of like, okay, you know, Dom or Jesse, like we gotta get this right for the algorithm so we can start. No, dude, like calm down, back up, let's just have fun with this. Let's enjoy ourselves. Yeah, the algorithm it makes sense. We have to do it.
Yeah.
But like, don't forget, like we've already won. You know.
Absolutely.
And having to be our own bosses definitely like makes it difficult with like the 2 different characters. But like it just I'm proud of us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, we've come a long way.
we have learned so much about even just outside of the professional realm, just like with how to work with other people in life.
Yeah.
You know, it goes way beyond the work. It goes way beyond the music.
Yeah.
So like we have grown as human beings, and like we've gained a brotherhood because of that. And so many people will give up before they get that bond, but the bond happens with struggle.
Yeah.
And with those moments you feel like you're gonna kill each other. But like
It's true.
after you get past those moments, you're like, oh shit, we just went through war together.
Yeah.
Like, oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
like this is dope. You know,
Yeah.
now we have this bond that like you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we continue to build that, you know.
It's true. Yeah, it wasn't always easy.
And it still
because-
isn't.
Yeah. There's something, I will say the biggest thing to overcome a lot of the challenges, like with all of it, personalities, ideas clashing, is communication.
Absolutely.
Like finding the best way to communicate. Because there's going to be times, you know, there were several times where we're like, we don't have to do this. Like, we don't have to do this duo. We can just quit. Like, fuck, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like sticking through it the possibilities
Yeah.
could be, like, where could that go? And I think we're both hopeful and stubborn enough to have stuck through it this long
Yeah.
that we're like, no regrets. Like, we
Yeah.
gotta see this through.
People told us, they were like, you got to give an age stop point. You know, if you're 26 and you get to the point you haven't made it yet, like maybe look for something else.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, man, I can't imagine how many people listen to that advice
Right.
who could have been
Yeah.
amazing, you know? And we're definitely past 26, but we are not even close to giving up. It can't happen.
No.
It can't happen. And that's the advice we give anybody else. Like, don't put a ceiling on anything. As soon as you put a ceiling on it, you've already like they say, like, if you have a plan B, you're already fucked.
Yeah.
You're already fucked. Don't even give yourself the plan B, because then you're going to start thinking about that more than your plan A. Just focus on what you want to do and just hit it hard. Eventually you'll something will happen.
You can't
true.
win the lottery if you don't play the lottery,
Yeah.
right? Like, if you sit there and you give up,
Sure.
like, where are you going to go if you're like,
Yeah.
all right, well, maybe this is something that I enjoyed, but I don't like my numbers enough, or somebody's telling me that, like, my engagement or, like, what I look like doesn't fit the bill of, like, what they think it should be.
Right.
I don't think it matters.
Right.
And I think that from everything you guys are saying, your vision for Dom and Jesse, it's so organic.
Yeah.
It's so you guys. It's like who you are as people, your personalities just merged. I also think there's something really beautiful about the whole, like, yin and yang of
Yes.
it, that you guys are very different people, but you show that you can work together, create an amazing product, create this space where people let go of everything outside in their lives and have fun. And that's the most important thing. I truly believe that when you do stuff genuinely, like from the heart, organically, that's when you see success. Because
Yeah.
you can tell, in my opinion, like when
Yeah.
things are forced, you're like, I know that's a forced thing, you
Yeah.
know?
Agreed.
When you guys have your disagreements, like, how do you handle those?
Me and Usman never disagree.
Right. That was going.
We really don't. That's,
yeah.
that's also kind of not a lie.
And I'm like very like easy. So like if she's like, no, I don't like that, or I think we should do something like this.
That much.
I mean, she doesn't,
I promise.
and I'll sit on it for a little bit, but then usually we'll agree to move forward. Usually like it's her decision, which usually is right.
You trust her.
Yeah, I trust her. So
I'm grateful for that.
it's been easy. Like most of the people I work with, I'm like easygoing. I'm kind of like which you guys like. I go with the vibes usually, and I do have like a vision of what I want to do, but then I usually surround my people with people who are able to like execute on that vision, and that's like how this was able to get done. The events that we were able to do with the Impossible Group was able to get done, because usually I come in, hey, big idea, and then I get reeled in by everyone else. It's like, okay, you gotta do X, Y, and Z first.
Yeah.
And once you do X, Y, and Z, then your vision would be executed. It's like, okay, cool, got
That's
it.
the perk of having like different people
Yeah.
around you too. Is like I
Yeah.
wouldn't even say they're disagreements, just like something maybe Usman didn't think of
Yeah.
that I saw from a completely different perspective and was like, okay, what if we try this? Like, you know, and the same thing. Us would be like, okay, like let's give this a shot. And you know, if you have that partner with you to guide that, I think you come up with like way better ideas than just on your own when you're stubborn about it.
It's true.
You know,
It's true. That uncomfortability is good. That's where growth happens.
it's tough,
Yeah.
but it is.
Yeah. Because like it's like a human instinct to like reject things first, and, or you know, so like feedback, we like
Sure.
naturally want to reject it, right?
Yeah.
But when you make it a habit to take it in, and you know, of course, balance it out with taking it for a grain of salt and understanding the perspective where it comes from,
Sure.
it's like it helps you grow
Yeah.
at the end of the day. So that uncomfortability, when you're able to break through that and like let it build you, you just grow. You grow from that.
That's awesome.
It's welcomed, the uncomfortability.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not always fun, but I think it takes you to
Yeah.
the place that you need to be.
Mhm.
And
It
that
does.
growth place is like where you want to keep moving,
Yeah.
especially when you're trying to build something bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
And it seems like Dom and Jesse is like bigger than either of you individually. And your management saw that. It's like we have this
Exactly.
Yeah.
vision for what you can be even greater than just you. And it's
Mhm.
amazing that it's come together like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys don't have those disagreements very much anymore. It seems like you,
Oh my God,
you've
all the time.
worked.
No.
Oh, no, all the time.
You're like,
All the
not
time,
really
because
sure.
we're just both very strong individuals. You know,
Yeah.
we
Right.
have
Yeah.
we have very high ambitions and very large dreams for both of us. So
Mhm.
it's,
Yeah.
you know, like we completely understand why all these bands break up all the time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, why One Direction struggled so hard and why
Yeah.
they broke up and are getting back together. Backstreet Boys and Sync, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were kind of different with their management
Yeah.
fucking them over and all
Sure.
that. But like,
yeah.
you know, so many of these bands have a hard time staying together because they don't.
Egos.
Their
Yeah.
egos, and like it's just even beyond egos, it's just we're all very strong characters and we all have a vision on life, and you know, we don't want to fuck it up. Like, we only got one shot at this. So like,
Absolutely.
of course, like I could live by his vision all day and just listen to him all day, but then I'm not living for me.
True.
So that balance to find, okay, like how do we feel, again, the sacrifice thing, right? Like, where can I sacrifice enough where I still feel like I'm living my life for me and he's sacrificing enough where he's living his life for him, and the Dom and Jesse thing is coexisting, and it's a tough balance.
Yeah.
It's a tough balance, but we got it.
Yeah.
You guys are doing
got
it.
it.
You're
You
doing
got
it
it.
successfully
You got
and
it.
making it work.
Yeah.
So something's
you.
clearly going right.
Yeah.
As far like the music component itself, do you guys both do a little bit of everything? I know you guys said that like you DJ as well. Like there's that element. The actual songwriting, the instruments. You guys both play guitar. Like tell me about the actual song creation. How does that look?
It's always different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always different. Like with our team, you know, with our production team, there's writers in there, there's producers. So we could have a song fully presented to us, and we're like, that's great, that works.
Mm-hmm.
Or we can write a song from scratch, present it to our team, and we're like, that's great, move forward. So it really depends, you know? Like we could, we just got in the studio with Ant and Ty, shout out to you guys. And Dom had a song idea and presented it, and it just went from there. So it's always different, you know, like we were both writers and worked on our own productions and stuff before we became a duo. So we already had like the skill set to be able to create music from the ground up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So nowadays it's kind of all over the place. But lately Dom's been like just like a running faucet of music ideas. So yeah, we've been kind of looking at Dom like, all right, what's next? and let's build that.
No pressure at all.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny too, because like our musical inspirations, I feel like when we first started, I think the idea was to make us like this pop boy band approach, but like Jesse and I don't really listen to that, and
Nice.
we have very different ideas of our everyday music listening, and we're starting to integrate that more and more into our music and like kind of find this like new era of music for us. And it's cool because it's like we're tying everything in together rather than just like completely dismissing what we've been doing.
Yeah.
We're like learning how can we take our favorite music and meld it in with what's already been created. And in a way it's like creating this cool new sound. Like, you know, we've got like 80s inspired music. We have like 90s and 2000s like
Wow.
pop rock stuff going on.
Yeah.
And like it's just all different stuff happening all at once. But it's like Quincy Jones said, he doesn't see genres of music, he just sees good and bad music.
Yeah.
And so we just want to make good, fun music that makes us happy. Rick Rubin is like one of my biggest
Love Rick
inspirations.
Rubin,
And like he, of all people, and I'm big into Buddhism too, and he of all people is like, fuck everyone else, make shit that makes you happy, and then the people that want that will just gravitate
They will
towards it, and
Yeah.
you'll gravitate the right people. And
It's like
that's
the
what we've
energetic
been,
pull of it.
Yeah.
it's kind of what we've been doing. And even with just our performance, it's like, fuck everyone else, you know,
Yeah.
let's have fun.
Yeah.
And then once we start having fun, everyone else will start having fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're very excited for this new EP.
Dom and Jesse,
Yes.
fuck everyone else. There's the headline.
I can't wait.
That's the new thing, yeah.
That's a headline for
No,
you.
but-
That's
but
good.
They're gonna That's what Dom and Jesse think of their fans. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
No, we love our.
We really do.
Just
Our
to
fans are
clarify
amazing.
real quick.
Our fans are amazing. A lot of our fans have turned into our
We love you
our
guys,
good
but
friends.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
A lot of our
Please.
friends
All
have become our
publicity is
friends.
good.
Will
publicity,
delete that. Delete. He's like, I'm running
It's
that.
too late.
That's the first one.
That's in there.
Blackmail.
Well, listen.
Sorry,
While we're
Julia.
no. Listen. While the whole world
Julia's like, this is done.
while the whole
Cut the
world is
interview.
already whole world is already hating us, I have a very controversial topic:
Okay.
Yeah.
pineapple on pizza. Yes or no?
No.
Oh, now our fans are definitely gonna hate us.
Leaving, okay.
What do you mean no? Wait, let me ask you this too. Hold on. Before you
Alright.
say that, it's kind of like the kids who are like, I hate broccoli. Have you had broccoli? No. Have you had pineapple on pizza?
I feel like I only had it once.
See,
But yeah,
That's what I'm
a good
talking
point. That's a good
about.
point. That is a good point.
the people who say
Yeah.
no to pineapple on pizza probably haven't had it
Enough.
enough.
Yes.
What about you? Because you're sitting over there like zipping up your
I
lips
don't
too.
have much to say. I'm an Italian, so.
Same.
Okay, well then I kind of lose my standing in this statement because I was gonna say it just feels wrong to me. You
What?
know? I do. I like both things separately. Love both things
Okay.
separately. Love pineapple.
Yeah.
Love pizza.
Okay.
The two merged.
False.
I'm
Is
not.
it
I'm not so sure
Is
about.
it because pineapple is a fruit?
Or pineapple shouldn't be hot.
Both of those things. I think both of those things stress me out individually.
It stresses you
I'm,
out.
I'm upset. I'm upset right
It's
now.
valid.
No, it's not valid. That's not
Well,
valid.
and my argument is that, well, isn't tomato like a fruit too?
Technically.
It is a fruit.
But it's like more of a savory fruit. This is a crazy conversation, and I love that we're having
It's
it.
important.
This is important. No, but
This is
to
a
me,
summertime food we're talking
It is.
about.
I think you need
yeah,
a
it
little
is.
sweetness in your life, and you know, it's just it
Is
just
that
adds.
what it gives? Like
Yes.
The
See,
pineapple?
you're even asking the question. You said no. And you're asking what
but-
flavor it gives.
But I just want to know what it tastes like at this point because I don't think I actually really
Can we
had
order?
it.
We need to order like a pizza
Pineapple.
with pineapple.
order
We need-
right now. Send
For
it.
Milk Boy, let's get a pineapple
Oh my
pizza
God.
together.
Yeah,
And we'll
all right.
we'll do it for
I'll
the
try
time of
it.
that interview. Yeah?
Perfect.
Okay.
Oh wow.
I'll prepare myself.
It's so
for
good
that.
because you agree, right?
I love it.
Yeah.
Is that your go-to?
No, it's just fantastic. If I see a Hawaiian pizza, I'm not going to be
It's
mad at it,
divisive.
and I'm going to
Yeah.
get it. Yeah.
It's divisive
It's a hot
for sure.
take.
Yes.
That
There's
is
a
such
lot of
It's
things.
a really hot take.
Will, well, what's your take on that?
No.
No.
What?
All right.
Will's
What
behind
about
the
you,
camera. He doesn't-
Julia?
he doesn't
Julia's
like
a
to
no
be
too.
All right,
So
so
what
what do I want?
two yeses. There's
Four-
2 yeses and 4 no's.
4 no's right now.
Whatever.
Okay.
Your facts are flawed. But moving on.
Okay. All right. Fine. We'll accept that then.
Dom and
Oh, wow.
Jesse eat pineapple on pizza.
Pineapple on pizza.
Oh,
fuck my
pineapple.
fans. Like you guys have a lot of
We're
really,
headlining.
really
I told
good
you.
I like
ideas.
that.
We're
going
crumbling.
downhill.
I told you.
It's okay.
I love that.
We
I love
respect it. Well, can you tell us? I know you said you're pulling from like, you know, your kind of earlier style, and I listened to "What If" on my way over here. Love that track.
We wrote that
awesome
one.
track,
Yeah.
guys.
With Jake and Jared, shout out to them. They're cousins.
Oh, amazing.
Amazing dudes. The 4 of us sat in a room and we just wrote that and another song. The other song is actually going to be on our next EP that's coming out. Yeah.
Amazing.
But we wrote both those songs within like, was What If, or the other one, What If was pretty quick too.
Yeah.
We wrote those both like super fast. It was
Julia
just so
was there
natural.
too.
Oh yeah, you were there at one point.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
She wrote everything, actually.
Yeah, she's our ghostwriter.
Yeah.
We didn't write nothing. She wrote What If. She's like, what if I finished the song for you guys? You didn't do anything.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, but it was a really cool process.
It's an awesome track. I love that
you.
one. One of
Thank
my
you.
favorites I was
Same.
We
listening
love
to.
performing that one.
It just has like you guys just have such a like bright pop like energetic sound
Yes.
to you, and I'm excited to hear more about like where you guys are going with your other musical influences and what you guys listen to on your own like personal time. Like anybody in particular that's influencing that? I know you said like a little bit of 90s,
Yep.
some Y2K maybe.
My personal favorite, Lainey.
Okay.
I don't know if you know them.
I'm
but
not familiar,
oh
no.
my God. Yeah, look them up.
What kind of
Maybe?
music?
Like, very pop polished indie. Like
Okay,
it's
cool.
it's more on the pop side, but
Yeah.
it's kind. I would say, wouldn't you agree? It's like indie.
Indie-ish.
It's like
Indie.
indie
All right.
pop.
He writes like, I would say he writes like a country artist that is from the perspective of like pop,
Yeah.
because his writing is very, yeah.
And they started
it's
off in
super
Nashville
solid.
too,
So
actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
I don't know if you knew that.
he's got like a Nashville type of writing. Like
Yeah.
he'll write about his life. It's almost like a country artist, but like in the shell
Yeah.
of pop and indie.
And
Ooh.
as writers go, honestly, like Paul Jason Klein, I would say is like the male Taylor Swift. He's like, it's like all heartbreak or love. It's
Yeah.
always about relationships, and the way he speaks about them is just so creative. And it's like, wow, I never thought of it that way. And like everybody who listens to Lainey, like attributes it to like somehow their relationship in some form, and it so good, so good.
Yeah.
What about
that's
you?
all.
Yeah.
I just listen to Taylor Swift every day.
Every day.
On
All
You have
day.
to.
On
No,
repeat,
I mean,
yeah.
I
She's the best.
don't. She's great. She's great.
Usman does listen to her every
Yeah,
day,
I do.
every single
Do
day.
you really?
No, I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
That's his alarm when he wakes up.
Oh,
every
yeah,
morning.
right.
It's Love Story by Taylor Swift.
Oh, sorry.
Gets him out of bed
Will,
every
I'm messing with the mic. It's probably. So I love the 1975. I'd say that's my
Yeah.
favorite band. Yeah, like I have a tattoo of them. I just love that band so
Sweet.
much. I also love listening to a lot of stuff. Like if I could choose one artist, maybe, or a few. Let's just choose a few. Ed Sheeran, Johnny Cash. I'm usually listening to everything Johnny Craig puts out. He was in a band, Dance Gavin Dance.
Oh yeah.
He's got the voice of an angel, and yeah, love what he puts out. Yeah, it's good stuff. I'm really open to everything
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, we share a lot of music with each other. And
Casey Musgraves.
Oh
I
my
I
God,
love
yo.
Casey Musgraves.
Yeah, I know her.
Yeah.
She's cool.
So yeah, it's all over. Especially like DJing now. We picked up DJing over the pandemic, and we just ran with it, and now it's incorporated in what we do. And our musical palette has definitely increased like tenfold since we've been DJing too. So now we're like going down the house and EDM rabbit holes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we love I think that's like our new favorite now. As far as DJing and like EDM music, we love house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love house.
It's a big scene in Philadelphia.
Feels like house is having its moment
No,
Yeah.
right now.
and
Like,
we're learning that the hard way, both good and bad. So like the clubs we're doing, we love DJing the clubs, but like there's no pop scene in Philly.
No.
And so that's why we're creating this Milk Boy event. And it's Dom and Jesse and friends. And so the whole idea is every quarter, what we want to do now is do an original show with all our music, with a full band, and then have friends of ours open up that are pop acts in Philadelphia and kind of give them a platform,
Yeah.
and then build that up more and more. And we were like, either we can say, you know, screw it, there's no pop scene in Philly, let's get out. Or we could say, there's no pop scene in Philly, so let's create one.
Let's work
And
on
so,
something.
you know, we're working with a whole bunch of different collectives, working with Sound Room. They're going to help run the event and put the event together. And Nugget from Q102 is hosting the event.
Yep.
cool.
I know
So we're gonna,
Nugget.
we're gonna have
Yeah, Nugget's great.
sponsors, and like we're just doing a whole bunch of really cool stuff. And we really want to elevate this and make it something that it's like you're going out to like Union Transfer to see, or you're going out to
Yeah.
the Fillmore and see. But it's a process. So
Yeah.
we start at Milk Boy. Yeah.
Do you guys have any big like festival inspirations or specific venues that you really want to see yourself at?
Union Transfer.
Union
It's
Transfer.
my
Really?
favorite. It's my favorite place in the city.
Really?
The
Yeah.
sound and just the environment is
Yeah.
great. I think we'll probably fit best in the Fillmore though.
Fillmore's an awesome venue.
Yeah. What
I
about
don't
you?
think I've ever been to Union
I
Transfer.
no.
Fillmore's awesome though.
I've never been to Fillmore.
Very
Sick.
cool.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
these like really
It's a
beautiful
big-
chandeliers. Yeah.
And
Huge
there's just
space.
one huge open room, and it's one big square, and that's why I like Union as well, because some places they're not. Like TLA is cool, but just depending on where you're standing, it can be obstructed.
Yeah.
But like Union Transfer or Fillmore, wherever you are, you have a perfect view of the stage.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about
Sound quality is
Yeah.
awesome throughout too. We were just at a show at the Fillmore.
At the Fillmore.
a couple
it. Lainey,
weeks
we're
ago.
just at
Yeah.
the Fillmore.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, we tried to open up for them. We tried so hard.
Oh yeah.
And their team got back to us and they were like, we already got an opener, but like maybe for another, maybe for the future. So we're
tried.
like, our hopes are up.
Yeah.
What's
tried.
that process like? Just like throwing yourself out there and being like, hey,
Yeah,
you
being the
guys
squeaky
need somebody?
wheel.
Yeah.
Hundreds of emails, and again, we learned the hard way with that too. Anything you learn, like just don't be afraid to fail. And we got so many more no's than yeses. What's that band? The Oysters in My Pocket, and na 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 na. It's that band that they got big on Murder on the Dance Floor. They covered that too.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but I
forgot who
couldn't tell you.
We got in contact with their team as well, and they said no. But like all these, we learned through trying to open up for touring acts coming through Philly. One, most of them already have opening acts. Two, they're a part of a huge booking agency where if you're not in that big booking agency, they won't even take you serious.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, okay, well then let's just create our own events. Let's create buzz enough where then we start getting known through the local venues and start telling them like, hey, we can book out 400, 500, 600 person venues. Then you have the leverage to be able to like say, hey, we have the clout,
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing is we've booked Milk Boy because we learned that we can't really get an opening act for bigger venues. So let's start small and then let's just do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Smart. I learned that process. Starting small is probably the best way to actually convince and legitimize yourself. As the like big venues, they don't typically like working with smaller artists or independent artists. You either have to be signed to a label or have this mass following
Yep.
that they can say, look, point to. It's like, okay, you have 1 million followers, 10% of that, 100,000. Okay, maybe about half of that will actually show, maybe that buy tickets. So it's all a numbers game for them, especially like as a venue owner. But I think going your route, doing everything yourselves, trying to build your career is probably the best thing to do. Then you learn a little extra along the way as well, that maybe down the line you become a mentor for someone else who's looking to do the same exact thing.
Right. And it's tough too because even the people with 1 million followers now, you can easily buy that.
Yeah.
And people are finding that the hard way again. They're finding out that they have 1 million followers, and then these people aren't selling out these big tours, and they're struggling with ticket sales. They're struggling with merch sales. Like there's so many stories you hear of like someone with a few million, a YouTuber with millions of followers, and then they put up merch on their site and they sell like 20 units.
Yeah.
No.
And it's like, oh, okay, you're paying for this. But at the end of the day, like ticket sales, they don't lie. So, starting off on the smaller venues and pushing these and making it consistent where we sell those out, and then eventually we get to the slightly bigger venue.
Yeah.
And it takes more time, but at the end of the day, when we go to ask for something or we go shopping an idea, we have so much more leverage because now they're not looking at our following, which can easily be fake. They're looking at the ticket sales, which you can't fuck that up. You can't fake that. You can't bullshit it. So
Yeah, we have a long way to go. Like we're ready to put in 15 more years of this and really go hard.
Yeah.
And we look at this like this is just grind time, and we're just seeing what works, seeing what we like, and seeing how we can continue to grow it. And right now, working alongside other Philadelphia brands and people is like, it's so much better because rather than, we could do a night in media at Townhouse and we literally do everything, all the marketing.
Yeah.
Or we can, work with other people and build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have Nugget host and Mike from Meet Philadelphia helping to put the event on, and Julia literally keeping everything going behind the scenes and communications and making sure we're texting people and
she does the PR, so she's like the liaison for us and helps with the connections within the city.
yeah, definitely. Where it's like we could be like, we could be complaining about not being on a label and stuff like that, or we could just work lateral with people here that we trust.
Do you feel like that's the trend where the industry is actually leading towards, where you'll have more artists opting in for like the independent route rather than signing in for a label?
Yeah, labels are getting destroyed right now.
Yeah.
It's just not really a thing anymore because it's like if you're independent, labels are so quick to grab these younger artists now because as soon as the younger artists start popping, then they don't need a label anymore, right? And I mean, unless the good thing I will say about having a label is like if you have all your ducks in a row and you know what you're doing, then it allows you to kind of like outsource your work a little bit so that you can just focus on what you're doing.
Yeah.
But I mean, just time and time again in history, it's just you've seen it where these artists, they'll sign with a label and they'll think, oh, okay, now I can just lay back and let them do the work for me. Yeah. But the thing is, like, we do pretty much everything ourselves right now. We're doing the content, we're editing it, we're filming it, we're shooting it, we're doing the promotion and the marketing, the website, the posters, the networking, everything. We have a few people in our corners, but it's a very, very, very small team that we're doing it with. And again, we're doing a lot of the stuff on our own right now anyway. Yeah. So like for us, having a label, it'll be, honestly, I'm excited about it, even though people are like, it'll be easier for us because we're not just going to sit back and make that mistake of like, you know what? Now we can just do nothing. No, we still have to work really hard, but now we just have that network that we weren't tapped into before. You know, the label can help us with the marketing, and they can help. That's the thing. We don't want them to do it for us. We want them to help us with it. And we just want to be able to like not have to do everything.
That's so true. There's so much we do.
Yeah.
We've had to. Like, and not had to, but we're so driven to like give people the best experience possible. Like from learning to DJ, we were two guys with guitars that were singing, and it's like we invested in sound equipment, learned how to do sound, right? Learned how to run sound. Then we learned how to do DJing, bought the equipment, learned how to do it. Bought lighting, learned how to program lighting. So now our shows have programmed lights to our stuff. So there's so much that we've learned that most artists do not even touch their entire life.
Right.
Learned how to be salesmen, like everything.
Yeah, because we're
everything.
so driven to like leave people with like a great experience when they come to our shows. We want them to have like a good time and show them like, this is like what the kind of show we want to put on. So by the time we're able to get to like a Fillmore, it's like somebody's doing all that for us. It's gonna be so easy. We're gonna be like, all we have to do is bring our guitars and show up.
And so many people we talk to as well that are like, they've been on tour, they're touring musicians, because Philly has some of the top musicians in the world. I mean, any artist that's touring, like big artist, at least one of those musicians in the band is from Philly. And we talk to all these people, and they're like, man, like, just wait till tour. Like, it's a lot of work. It's going to be tough. Dog, we do 4-hour gigs with just the two of us twice a week. We do over 100 gigs a year. And we're doing these 4 hours a night. And most of these nights, we're coming an hour and a half early, setting everything up, sound checking ourselves, running the sound ourselves, doing the whole gig ourselves, and then staying after an hour and a half to 2 hours, breaking down, packing the cars, driving home, And it's like, yo, when we get on tour, this shit's gonna be
Simple.
Yeah.
like it's gonna
Yeah.
be a cake. Like we can't wait to just be on stage for an hour. And like imagine if we give 100% of our energy in 4 hours. Now imagine what we're gonna be able to do with an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
We're gonna be able to throw out all of the stops, you know? And that's what we're really stoked about. And you know, we're slowly transitioning into that. But the thing is, we found like those 4-hour cover gigs, you know, those are paying the bills right now so that we can focus our energy on Dom and Jesse. Because you could have a part-time job, but the thing is, no matter what we're doing in music, whether it's for Dom and Jesse or whether we're singing covers, like we're still getting experience on stage and being showmen and getting in front of the people and selling us. So the goal for this year is to definitely like hit the original stuff really, really hard so that we can work smarter and not harder eventually and get those events where it's like, oh, we only have to play for 45 minutes. Like, holy shit, we're getting paid the same
So
amount?
nice.
Like, what?
That's a dream.
Yes.
But we'll get there. We'll
Will
get there.
knows. You know, Will.
Yeah.
You know what we're talking about.
But some people, the independent thing, the independent route works, and we're not going to be someone to be like, oh, you have to go independent or oh, you have to be signed. It's like, I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
What works for you?
Yeah.
What works for us is what we're doing now, and like we don't even talk about like signing or not signing. We don't really have that conversation. We just have the conversation of like, okay, let's just keep moving forward. But I mean, for me personally, dude, I'll sign tomorrow.
Depends on the deal.
Yeah, it depends on the deal. Of course, it
What do
depends
you
on the
got
deal. But
for
like,
me?
one of the things that Sean tells us, the captain of our ship,
Yeah.
he tells us like that, you know, you can get 100% of nothing. So it's like,
That's
yeah, you could go the independent route and get 100% of nothing, or you could sign to a major label, and maybe they're taking a big chunk of your living, and you know you're not making $1 million, but like people don't realize that $150,000 a year, you're already in like the 1%.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
I would be so much happier with that than like struggling to try and hopefully make $1 million, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And we're doing what we love.
True.
It's like if the deal is right, I'll gladly sign tomorrow. You know, if we're able to like make a good amount of money and make a living off of it and support ourselves and our families and make the music we want to make, like why would we say no to that?
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go. Get them
For
signed.
anybody out there,
Let's go, Atlantic. What are you waiting for?
they're waiting for you. Okay.
They're waiting for the followers. That's
You're
what they're waiting for.
What the hell? They're like, yeah, you
Oh,
guys
man.
make some more TikToks and go viral first. Me and Dom aren't very viral people.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to encapsulate like
Yeah.
the vibe you get at our shows into a viral video or into a video.
Right.
And on top of that, it's like,
We just hate social media.
yeah, we also got to get somebody to do that. So that's
Yeah.
the next course of action is really finding somebody who can be like that one guy with Kanye West who like documented his whole
It's
thing and
over.
made it.
Yeah.
They
we
just
need
walk around and film our life.
We need a guy like that.
Yeah.
Will?
Will.
He's like, how much does
How
it pay?
much?
He's got a family. He needs.
But we're behind the scenes. We're working on that stuff. You know, we really do. When you look at our social media, it might just look like we're running around partying, but like we really do strategically move, and we really do think about these things, and we do have, you know, financial goals every year of like, okay, where can we put our energy in so that we're making enough money so that we can allot that amount of money into our savings, allot a certain amount of money into marketing, and how much is it going to be for marketing and promotion. If we do pay someone for that, for someone to be our camera guy, how much is that going to cost? So like, how much do we have to make to be able to do that?
Yeah.
And so like, we think about those things.
Yeah.
And we're working towards it. You know, we're working towards eventually having someone we can just pay to be our camera guy.
Yep.
And just walk around.
We're in
and follows
severe
you.
credit card debt.
As is, I think, many folks in the United States. I don't think you're alone in that.
No, yeah, it's all it's all relative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. What about you guys? What are some challenges you guys face? I'd like to know.
Our challenges in the podcast.
Yeah.
Scheduling. I think is probably our biggest.
Yeah.
And
It's tough. Like you guys said, you're wearing like all the hats at one time. I think it's tough when we both have like our 9-to-5 jobs, and then we have, you know, doing this as a passion and something that we want to see genuinely grow. And
Yeah.
we know we're connecting with the right people out there that, you know, align with us and the people that we want to put on. So I think doing the actual scheduling and putting everything together is probably the biggest thing for
Yeah.
me. You know, you only have so many hours in a day. I value
Yeah.
my sleep a lot.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so I'm sure you guys do too as
Yeah.
artists. But I would say the scheduling. What about you?
I would say once that's all done, like the scheduling, you shoot the episode, like post production and like the marketing aspect of it. So that is like very time consuming. So creating the clips that we release on like social media to make sure that people watch the full length episode, finding a posting schedule that's like actually going to hit the algorithm, make it like kind of go viral and get more eyeballs on it. That's difficult as well. So like I guess the post production aspect of it is like very time consuming for like on my end. Knowing that I have a 9-to-5, always thinking of these like wild ideas, but then I have to like stay focused on this one particular thing as
Right.
well.
We fall into that too.
And don't fall into that trap of
Yeah,
like
dude.
try and do something else when you need to do this first.
Yeah.
And my mind kind of just like spins
Yeah.
constantly. So trying to stay focused is probably like the hardest thing for me. But what I've learned is that just take take it one step at a time, and just knock that one thing out that you have on your to-do list. And then over time, you'll look back and say, wow, I got a lot of things done within a given month. And now like we're shooting season 2, and you asked me about like a year and a half ago, if we were able to get through season 1, I would have said no, because it took almost a year to shoot season 1.
Yeah.
Take some time.
And I was like, oh my God, we actually got it done.
Wow.
And it's insane. Yeah.
Good for you guys.
Yeah.
Sticking with it.
Yeah.
How do you guys deal with burnout?
You keep moving.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one foot in front of the other, at least for me and like my very ADD brain. I always feel like I'm being pulled in like a different direction in my life, you know. So many different passions and things to do, like your to-do list every single day. I avoid burnout by just like keep moving forward
Yeah.
Yeah.
and just not giving up on
Yeah.
the things that I want.
It's
Yeah.
so funny you said that too, because I asked Nugget that same question. Because Nugget, I mean, he's
Constantly
he's done a
going.
lot, you
Moving.
know, and
Yeah.
he's got a great rep sheet of like, he's done some pretty awesome things in
Yeah.
life so
Yeah.
far, and I feel like he's just beginning, you know. And when I asked him, I was like, how do you deal with burnout, dude? You know, and we really take his advice to heart anytime we ask him about stuff. And he was just like, just keep going.
Just go.
Just don't
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
When you burn out, just don't stop.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, cool. All right.
Take your rest time too.
I know.
You know, like
Yeah.
a little bit of it, mix that in here and there.
Yeah.
But
We've learned to do that, because
Yeah.
we used to go way too hard, and then we would just drop off the face of the earth and just feel like we're dead. And
Yeah.
then we would like have to like pick each other back up, scrape each other off the floor. And like, all right, come on, let's go. But we're learning the balance, and we're learning
Yeah.
that like, however this turns out, it turns out. You know, let's just enjoy the process regardless,
Yeah.
rather than like chasing this dream it doesn't even exist yet. So like, why are we so enthralled and obsessed with something that like we haven't even put the work in yet? Let's just put in the work,
Yeah.
and then it'll happen.
Keeps evolving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true though. Going back to what you were saying, it's easy to be like, oh, these ideas, and
Yeah.
you lose focus. But it's like somebody said that the guy that practices one punch and that's all he practices is more dangerous than the guy that practices total
Yeah.
Yeah.
karate.
Bruce Lee.
Whatever.
All the karate.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee said it.
That
Yeah.
guy's more dangerous. The
Yeah.
one that just practices that one punch
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
same way every day.
Yeah.
He said that I don't fear the man who practices 10,000 punches. I fear the man who practices one punch 10,000 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. It's pretty profound.
And it's so easy to like go on to the next idea.
Philosophize.
I know, right? Like just dropping gems. It's like, woo.
Oh, we love philosophy.
Yeah.
We
Right?
Yeah.
Smell the roses. This is my biggest one.
Oh, I love
My mom
it.
always told me this growing up.
Oh
That's
wow.
awesome.
And so that's kind of that helps at least me with burnout.
Yeah.
You know, like we'll be at a gig and like we both have our strengths and weaknesses, and one of my weaknesses is that I tend to not focus on the moment. I just like am like I'm a chess player too, so like I'll think, you know, years down the road, and it's like, okay, like if we want to do this, we got to do this to this.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll just look down and I'll be like, okay, Dom, shut up, smell the roses, be in the moment, just live in it.
Yeah.
And it helps.
I love
So
that.
we all have to find our own little thing to help us.
That's a really good segue. We've gone through so much today. You guys
Yeah.
philosophize for us. We've gone through literally everything. But a question we love to ask everyone that we have on the pod that we'd love to ask you guys is, what is one piece of advice that somebody gave you guys in your career or personal life, whatever, that you would say is really good advice and you would give to somebody maybe trying to do what you guys are doing right now? And on the flip side, what is one piece of advice that was given to you that you wouldn't recommend and give to somebody else?
Oh my God, I've done too many drugs for this.
There's a lot, so it's like, you know, whittling it down. Dang.
My memory sucks. So like I'm literally, my brain is like mush at this point.
But
So
it's
that's
okay.
tough.
That's not true. That's not true, Dom. You're just feeling the pressure. A piece of advice.
Damn.
I
That's
know,
a great
right? It's
question.
like one piece of advice.
Sorry, we
Man.
don't want to stump you guys.
Let's take a break. Let's
Back to our regularly scheduled programming.
damn.
I got a bad
Is
piece
it-
of advice.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Maybe you should, you know, think of a plan B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst advice I've ever gotten. Worst advice I've ever gotten in my entire life. Like, just to bring it back to like what I was
Yeah.
saying before, you know. That's an easy one to just tap into. But I really do think that is some of the worst advice I've ever gotten. Of like, yeah, like I don't know, you know, maybe it's cool that you want to be a musician, but like, you know, be realistic.
I know.
And
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah,
what the
people use
fuck?
the realism
Oh
card
my God.
so often,
Yeah.
and
Worst advice
Yeah.
you could ever listen to in your entire life.
yeah, growing up, I remember like being a kid and people being like, "Oh, that's like a really idealistic thought." And
Right.
I'm like,
And you're a
why
kid.
are you
Yeah.
saying it to me like it's a bad thing?
Right.
Like,
When people are out here
should you
doing
not
it.
be
Yeah.
idealistic in your own life? You should want the best
Yeah.
for yourself, and if you think it's unattainable, it's probably going to be unattainable.
The way I think about people now is like anytime you're getting negative energy to you, think of yourself as a mirror, and like all of your
Yeah.
emotion goes away because you're like, oh, okay, they're just unhappy.
Yeah.
They're literally just talking to themselves right now.
Right.
When they
Yeah.
tell you to hit a plan B, oh, you are living your plan B life. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Reflection.
Yeah.
But I also
What's-
feel like that having that plan B, even having an idea of it and something like almost mapped out, creates unfocus on plan A. So you start to drift. So any moment that you feel that things are going, staring left, you're just like, oh, I have plan B. I could go there at any moment. And you start to get a little discouraged, like, oh, things not working out. I'm like failing. I don't feel like moving forward. You just jump right to plan B.
It's like a safety net.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people fall into that pit of having this like vision when they grow up, doing X, and then they get steered towards like plan B and going after plan B, and it's a safety net. And they're, like, to your point, feel a little bit unhappy. And then they kind of like naturally put that on other people around them. It's like, hey, it didn't work for me, it's not gonna work for you, so you shouldn't do it either.
Yeah.
It's like, and the best thing that I be giving advice in that like regard was just follow your own vision. Like, don't really listen to anyone else about like what they've done in their like own life. Is maybe best to like understand it, view it, but never digest it fully,
Yeah.
and feel like, oh, because that person failed in like a vision I'm pursuing,
Yeah.
I'm going to fail too.
Yeah.
So you can just follow your own path. Everyone has their own path.
Yeah.
It's been we all have our own individual lives we got to live. So I think that's the best advice that like I've been given, and just keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Before we go on to your 2,
that's
I
great
have my
advice.
best one.
Your best
The best
advice?
advice, yeah. Don't ever grow up.
Yes.
Yep.
It's the best
Love
advice
it.
I've ever been given.
Yep.
I look at Shaq, like he's obviously grown, but he's never grown up. Like he still acts like a kid, even though he's like 50 so years old.
I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
Doing everything he does now, like he does so many things. Like he started DJing maybe about like 5-6 years ago.
Mhm.
Absolutely loves doing
Diesel.
it.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Dude.
Just having fun.
Yeah.
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 It's so true.
That's the whole goal for us.
Keeping
I
your
feel
inner
like.
kid.
Yeah. It's like, you know, what we all want to be financially free so we can be kids again.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
That's really all it is
Yep.
at the end of the day. And like, so I don't need to be a billionaire. I just need to have enough money so I can be a kid. Like, that's it. That's all I
Yeah.
need. All right, your turn.
Yeah,
That's so true.
that's true. Like kids are great.
Yeah.
And as somebody that has kids, I have an 8-year-old and a newborn. But even just watching kids, like they don't care who they're playing with. All they care about is like, are you fun? Like, are you nice?
Yeah.
They don't care what you look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
care where you're from.
Yeah.
They don't care
No.
about any of that. So that like that balance of like, okay, we understand there's responsibilities and we're adults, but having that inner child of like, I'm gonna let loose and have a good time and be kind and welcome everybody in. Having that balance, I think, is super important that we lose. I've heard this great quote recently because I've been married for
Oh, don't fuck it
Oh,
up,
yeah.
boys.
I'm gonna say like, whoa.
Cut that, Will. I've been married for 8 years and together for 9. But I saw this really awesome quote, and I can't remember where it's from, but it was like everybody's so worried about finding somebody to grow old with when they should be looking for somebody to stay young with.
Amen.
And I was like, damn,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is so true.
That's so true.
So, and that applies to like the inner child thing.
Yep.
As far as good advice, piggybacking off what you said, it's easy to, in this business and in life, to compare ourselves to other people and put ourselves down because of, you know, we're the same age and they're doing better or they're where we want to be or where we think we should be. And you've heard a lot that, or maybe you've heard comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
I think that was like stoicism or something like that. But it's so true. Comparison really is the thief of joy. And it's like we're all really running our own race in life.
Yeah.
And when you compare yourself to anybody, you're taking away so much of yourself in that. And then you're just projecting somebody else's life onto you
Right.
at the end of the day. So don't worry about your age or what you have at the moment. Like just be a little bit better every day. Just work on being better every year and progressing whatever it is every day, every week. And don't worry so much about what other people are doing and let that get you down in any way.
And if you're 30 years old and you want a Lunchables today, get that Lunchables, you know?
should.
Get it.
Good. I still eat chicken nuggets and French fries.
Last night,
Many
no.
days.
Was it last night? No, 2 nights. What was yesterday? Monday? Today's Monday.
Today's Monday.
Yesterday, yeah, last night, my girl and I made SpongeBob mac and cheese.
That's really that's important.
It was the
That's
shit.
huge.
It
Yep.
was the shit. I mean, we made our own like crazy dinner too, but
Yeah.
like, that was like our appetizer.
Exclusively mac
Yeah.
and cheese. SpongeBob mac
yeah,
and cheese.
yeah.
I love
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
What's the worst advice you've ever been given?
I can think of one. When I got to Philly here and I just started to hit the ground running, I would call agents or booking agents, any agents I could find in this industry, and I would call them and be like, "Hey, this is what I do," and I think I was like 26 at the time, 25, 26, and he was like, "Yeah, because he's like, you age out at 29," so he's like, I'm just like. That whole notion of like you're aging out at 29, like what, I'm too old, I should retire and
Yeah.
not like do something I love, I just think that's so stupid to tell somebody you're gonna age out, because to tell somebody that they're too old to do something is kind of stupid. I think it's dumb and it's shallow.
Yeah.
Because, I started as a guy who plays guitar and sings, with like a loop pedal. And if I would have taken that advice, I'd be like a real estate agent or something.
Bro, just imagine
and I would have
that.
never picked up DJing
Oh my God.
or lights or like I would have never done all these fun, great things if I would have taken that advice that like, okay, I'm 29, I'm getting too old. Like let me get a real job.
Off to plan B.
What is a real job? Like, come on, get real. Like, just do what you love. We have this one life, like you were saying. We have this one life. We don't know how long we get. So just, like, you owe it to yourself to do what you love to do.
Honestly, if you're afraid of death, just, like, do psychedelics.
That's your advice?
That's the final piece of advice.
Seriously, like, if you are afraid of death.
What's the PR perspective on this take?
If you are afraid of death, do some psychedelics and you will understand.
Throw that in the
I'd
mix.
say skydive, because
Skydiving too.
I mean, technically, that's kind of a drug. You're shooting up in dopamine like
It's
crazy.
legal.
that one's better. All right, skydive over the drugs.
off camera, on camera.
We gotta bleep it.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, you don't have to bleep psychedelics,
No, we don't.
right?
No,
No.
I'm just
Drugs.
messing with you.
Skydive. So, yeah, honestly, no, we
Just
have,
responsibly.
we have to mention
do
that.
things responsibly.
No,
Of
we
course.
have to mention skydiving. Like, we definitely encourage everybody to skydive. We went skydiving together with my 66-year-old uncle
Oh my
and my
god.
cousin. Yeah, they're like thrill junkies. My cousin is an instructor in this area, in Lancaster. And
We did it at the beach.
we went to Wildwood
That's fun.
and we skydived.
So sick.
And literally, and we were foolish, but what we did was we had a gig that night in Wildwood, and so as soon as we
Did you
it was-
skydive into it? That would be.
That'd be
Might
kind of
as-
lit. That'd be lit.
I want my cut for that concept.
Dude,
Yeah, let's go.
we might as well have.
I think you should.
That would
As
be
soon as we
amazing.
hit the ground, because of delays and wind delays and whatever, as soon as we hit the ground, we're like, we gotta run to our gig
Yep.
and set up and play a 4-hour gig.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oof.
And it's like we didn't even get to process the adrenaline that was going
Oh,
through
yeah.
us at the moment of falling 14,000 feet. But
Probably a hell of a
everybody-
show.
Yeah.
everybody
was
should
so sick.
skydive
Yeah.
because you want to talk about the ultimate feeling of letting go. Because you just think like you're falling to the ground, which is the most unnatural thing for a human. We don't have wings.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to be 14,000 feet above the ground and then fall.
Yeah.
So it's like this goes against our basic instincts as humans to fall to the earth, and all those feelings and emotions you feel is like that's when I feel like you can discover life. You can discover a lot about life in those like 3 seconds before you jump out of that plane and while you're falling. There's a lot to take away. So
And if
everybody
you're-
should skydive.
Yeah, and if you're a flat earther, go skydiving. You'll see. You'll see.
Ooh, that's divisive. Any flat earthers here? No.
No.
Well,
I know Julia is.
I thought about it the other day, and I'm like, everybody talks about like the round of the earth, right? That's like that's the big topic. Why isn't the topic that when it's 6 o'clock here, it's 3 o'clock in LA, or it's midnight in China? Like, why is it light over here but it's dark over there? But if the world is flat, it wouldn't be.
Good point.
Here's the thing.
It Will actually wants to get into it. Okay.
It's like,
Sit down. Pull up a chair.
Actually, none of this exists.
No, actually, the world isn't. It isn't round like a circle. It's actually like kind of oblong, like an oval.
What if it was like octagonal?
It could be.
It just has a bunch of different like, each country has its own side.
We never went to the moon.
Hot take.
Honestly,
A lot of hot
Listen,
takes.
right?
This conversation today.
I would kind of believe that.
Why haven't we been back? Why have we not gone back to the moon? Did the technology mysteriously disappear? Well, what's up with that? Anyway, I digress.
I kind of believe in that.
Oh my god.
Well, I want to say thank you
you
for
guys.
joining the podcast.
Yeah, we had
This
a
is
fun time.
absolutely
Thank you.
awesome
Thank you guys.
So
conversation. And I can't wait to actually see you guys perform live at McBoy June
Yes.
2nd.
June 4th.
June 4th.
June 4th.
Okay. All right.
We'd love to have you guys there and
Yeah.
do like a at the venue type of thing.
Over some pineapple pizza.
I was gonna say there has to be pineapple in the
Yes.
pizza though. All
They're
right.
seriously.
I will have one singular slice.
Yep, and we'll get it from like.
It's gonna be
a good
Domino's.
source.
Okay.
From Domino's?
Yeah.
Honestly, Domino's kind of
I
slaps.
love Domino's.
Cheesy bread kind of hits. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's
We're not
We're
sponsored
just
by
full
Domino's.
of hot takes today. I love that. We need to have like a hot take episode.
If we don't wrap this
Yeah.
up, we're gonna talk.
about Domino's.
No. Okay.
Not sponsored by Domino's.
We've done
If you wanna
past
sponsor us.
podcasts where like literally they've come to us afterwards and they're like, "This is the longest podcast we've had to date." We'll just talk and talk.
Yeah, it's probably.
Wait, I
yeah.
would say so,
Most
yeah.
yeah, this is it.
This is the longest podcast you guys have ever had.
I think so.
I feel like it.
You guys are just giving us like so much good
Yeah.
good stuff, and it's so easy to have like a good rolling conversation.
All right, let's make it even longer.
Do you need something sensational?
No,
We was like, I
we don't
got
need
over
the
an hour's drive
sensationalist.
at home. Ready to go.
If we do, I just need to change batteries.
Okay. Well,
Thanks for having us.
yeah,
Yes.
we appreciate
Thank
you
you.
guys so
Thank
much.
you to
for
Julia.
being here.
Thanks, Julia,
Yes.
for setting this up.
Thank you, Will, for putting this all
Will.
together, buddy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before we go, make sure to follow us at Dom and Jesse, DOMANDJESSE. Wherever you look up Dom and Jesse, you're going to find us. And once again, Milk Boy, June 4th. What else you got?
You're where? With who?
Yes.
Oh, I got the glasses on
guys.
now.
Okay.
Ooh, I actually like these.
Yes.
Dom and Jesse, baby. Summer all year.
Summer all year,
Summer all year.